What's going on, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. So today we've got a little bit of mischief going on. Today we are taking a look at the Kansept Loki Stephen Dunnock design. It is satin CPM S35, and then it has a two-tone titanium. This is one I have been wanting to take a look at for quite a while, and thanks to the pass around I was able to get my hands on it. But it is a kind of a small knife, as you can see. But I think it punches pretty well above its weight class, and we'll take a look at that here in just a few minutes. So you've got a little bit of a kind of a blasted titanium look there. Nice little anodized two-tone blue. Y'all guys know I love the blue. You've got some anodized hardware there as well. It's kind of more of a teal-looking anodized on the hardware. Pretty good looking blade. Switch it around. I love that pocket clip design. It's a great looking pocket clip. You've got about a half length back spacer. It is a solid back spacer. No lefty love, no lanyard love, and of course frame lock. There you see the designer and the namesake concept here. Let's go ahead and flick this guy open, and let me clean off the blade. Sorry, it's going to be some wiggles on the camera. It just is what it is. What happens whenever I decide to attach my camera to a freaking wobbly ass table. But it is what it is. Here we go. All right, so really nice machine satin there. There you have your typical Kansept stuff, and again you've got some more stuff here on some more billboarding there. And grind lines look pretty doggone good. Everything looks really good there. Tip is nice and strong and fairly straight. Leaning just a little bit towards that show side. And we are a little slow on the plunge grind, but it does terminate about right there. So you do have a little bit of room for sharpening. Very interesting opening hole there. Kind of an interesting looking knife in general, especially when you see it all together here. So you got a real high reach handle, so your blade comes down from the handle, which I do typically like that. Aids in cutting. So you do have a little bit of kind of a sheep's foot, Wharncliffe, another Wharncliffe blade here. So you've got a curved blade, but the angular Wharncliffe style there. You got a little bit of poon action there as well. Little finger ramp right here. No jimping, but that little ramp does lock you in pretty well. This is one of those knives, like I said, I've had kind of on my watch list for a while. I wasn't sure how I was going to like it. I've had it in my hands a couple of times. It's always one that's just kind of set right outside of my top couple list for buying. Action's phenomenal on it. If anything, if I had to really gripe about anything, I'd say the detent's a little weak on this particular one, but that's not going to be every knife, and it can be easily tuned in. The detent is a little late as well, so right there is where your detent comes in, so it is a little late, but on this type of knife, there's not really a there's no real double clutch to it. You don't have a flipper to hit you or anything like that. If it comes down and touches you, what's hitting you is the edge of the blade right there. So that choil is big enough, which it does allow to hit. So if you can see there, I'm not getting hit by the blade. I'm falling into that finger choil, which is really nice. That's something I hadn't noticed until I've been playing with it here recently. But I do like that aspect where you can just let it drop on your hand and you don't have any worries about getting cut. Don't have to worry about getting bit. So yeah, it's like I said, it's a weird looking knife aesthetically. I like the blue. It's I mean, not surprisingly because it's Kansept, but it works though. It feels good in the hand. It's kind of just that right size for my hands, you can see how it fits in the hand really well. You've got this kind of a concave part here. It first swoops up and then sweeps back down. The finger choils feel great. You're choked up automatically, but the blade comes down far enough where you don't really have to worry about falling up onto the blade. it's done really well. This is one where I can honestly say if you're on the fence about picking one up, if you've got the money, these guys run around 150 to 160 bucks depending on where you find them. If you've got the money for S35 and titanium, it's really not a bad deal whatsoever, and it's one that I would go ahead and put my stamp of approval on. It's the one I actually wish I owned, honestly. I should have picked one up at Blade Show. I sat at the table at Blade Show and played with the one they had on the table for probably 10 or 15 minutes, honestly. Just kept going back to it, and like I said, I should have picked it up. But it had the one that was there had a little bit stronger detent. So it, see there, you feel it every once in a while, but it felt a little bit better. But it wasn't the blue one. I think the blue one's the one I would want. So I didn't even bother to ask if they had a blue one because the table was really busy. So anyway, fantastic little knife. So it is a little guy though. Under 7 inches overall, just a 6.9 inch overall. It says the blade length is 3 inches. It looks a little small. I'm wondering where they're measuring that from. It doesn't look like a 3-inch blade, but let's measure it and find out. Maybe it's just because of how the blade is made that it sits at. So yeah, so it is really a 2 3/4 inch blade. But if you measure, you know, it's still under 3 inches. I don't know where that measurement's coming from, but it's not quite 3 inches, even if you measure it to the scale there. But it is a 2 3/4 inch cutting edge. So like I said, it's not a very large knife at all, but it fits in the pocket really well. And like I said, it's nice and fidgety. Like I said, especially since you don't have to worry about getting bit. You can just let that thing drop on your thumb and just keep on keeping on. Yeah, fantastic little blade. Really surprised with this thing. Like I said, for the price, kind of hard to beat. Kansept's getting really good with with their stuff. Their QC is always on point as well. So speaking of QC, we'll go ahead and check the screw tolerances there. T8 fits fine. You do have a single screw construction on the knife here. Everything is looking good. Let's check the other side of the T8. Yeah, everything's fantastic there. But yeah, that does help with the clean lines of the knife. You do only have a single screw. And then your pocket clip is screwed in from the back side. Yeah, really no complaints on this knife, other than, like I said, just the looks are a little strange, but it's something I can get behind. It's not a knife that looks like every other knife out there. So you guys know I kind of like the different knives. I like knives that stand out a little bit. So this is like I said, this is definitely one that is on my short list. I will probably pick one up in the next month or so, most likely. Hopefully, Kansept will have a little sale going on, or who knows? Maybe we'll get one for the channel. But again, I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Is there anything else you guys are looking at? What's your next knife? What's the next knife that you're planning on picking up for your own personal collection? All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Remember, be kind, be humble, be EDC. We'll catch you on the next one.